welcome into the MastoCast, episode 94. I'm going to say it's episode 94. Is it? Let's have a look. Yes, I am right. It's episode 94, and yes, welcome into MastoCast, hosted by yours truly, Master Dan92. What is it? What is this bloody MastoCast, I hear you ask? It is quite simply the mono-blog podcast hosted by yours truly, where I talk about what the fucking hell has been happening. Kind of a blog for myself, but I've put it into podcast form. But I like to talk about other stuff like music, video games, albums, watching bands and stuff I've been watching, all that sort of stuff, etc., etc. Apologies for the wait in long episodes. Well, not long episodes. No, apologies for the long wait in the episodes. So obviously went on holiday to Corfu. So obviously there was an episode on for that. And just a bunch of stuff happened after that, really, basically. And I just not got round to doing it. But went to Corfu. It was really, really lovely. Nice weather. I wish I was still there. The weather was beautiful. The food was beautifuler. The food was... Did I say food? Yeah. The booze was good as well. So, yeah. Oh, God, I miss it. I miss it so much. It was a fantastic holiday. I went all over the place. Went to Palio Castretta, went to Agios. We stayed in Canalini, I think it's called, where the airplane lands and stuff. Oh, it was just beautiful. Just beautiful to be away. All that sort of stuff. Nice and relaxing. Shared it with my darling fiance. We both had a lovely time. And I miss being on holiday because the weather is just depressing over here at the moment. I guess I've got the holiday blues just thinking about it now, actually. Even though, like, we got back on the 24th, I think. It was either the 24th or 25th, one of the two, of October. So, yeah, like, literally a few weeks ago. But yeah, that was obviously, like, one of the reasons why, really. There was, like, a few gigs in a row that, like, I wanted to sort of get out the way to, like, talk about, and albums coming out, and, I was getting close to finishing a couple of games. I was like, I wanted to talk about them as well. But, like, yeah, just one of the big factors, really, as well. Our pet budgie passed away. Our little Blue, which was, obviously very sad. Very sad. So obviously, like, didn't really want to be in the right frame of mind to be recording the podcast and stuff like that. So that was pretty sad and all that. We've both been pretty sad about it. So obviously, she's in birdie heaven now. She's in birdie heaven. She was pretty ill. So it was kind of expected, but it's still sad losing a pet, isn't it? So So we were pretty good about that. So yeah, rest in peace, Blue. Beautiful little birdie. But yeah, I'm back now. So much, as I said, so much stuff has happened. Gigs, albums coming out, festival news, and finishing a couple of games that I'm ready to talk about. All that sort of stuff. Like, it's just been bonkers. It's been bonkers. It really, really has. But yeah, I'll talk about a few. I'll talk about a couple of games actually first that finished. I'll get them out the way, really, because I've finished a couple of games. I'll talk about some gigs that I've been to and stuff, and festival news and stuff like that, and some albums that I've been listening to. So yeah, while I was away, I've been playing a lot of like Donkey Kong Bananza, like on the plane and stuff like that, and on the way back. I finally finished that, and absolutely loved it. It was just so fun, really, really cool game. Like, if you've got a Nintendo Switch 2, or are wanting a Switch 2, like, this is a must-have game, I think. Like, if you've got that console, like, you've got to have Donkey Kong Bananza. Similar to, like, if you've got the Switch one, you've got to have, like, Mario Odyssey or like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, one of those games. I feel like it's one of those. Like, you've got to have Bananza. Like, probably more so than Mario Kart, really. I know, like, Mario Kart's like the big thing. It's like one of the big games, and it's one of the biggest games. I think it is the biggest Switch seller for the Switch One. But I mean, we all know Mario Kart, don't we? But I feel like on the Switch 2, if you wanted something different to Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Bonanza is really, really great. Just the overall environments. There's loads of like lush different environments in there. Like it's very bold and colourful, and it's got a lot of humour in it. Like, I love Donkey Kong's like facial expressions and stuff like that, and like the fact that you have like a skill tree and stuff like that, which is not very common in Nintendo games, really. Like, you don't get that with like your Zeldas and your Super Marios and stuff like that, or whatever. But like, I just thought it was really cool to get that, and like, you've got the ability to change into to like morph into like different animals, like zebras, and a more muscly version of Donkey Kong, and like you could turn into an ostrich at one point as well, and an elephant. I think did I say elephant? A snake as well. Like, there's absolutely all sorts about it. Yeah. It's really, really awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, probably took me about a little under 20 hours to complete. Like, while I'm doing like little side bits here and there, like collecting bananas, and you got to collect all these Banandium gems to build up your skill tree and stuff like that. And like, it's always really cool when you collect a banana, because it does the whole banana bit and you eat this banana up, and you get stronger. So like, that's really, really cool. Yeah, it's great. The music's awesome in this game, and the characters are great. The bosses are cool. Some bits of it like get quite hard as well towards the end, especially like with your boss fights and stuff like that. So it is definitely required that you build yourself up for it. Like, get more hearts and all that sort of stuff, but build up your punches, all that sort of thing. Like, it's just great, and it's just very, very satisfying. Like, punching through all the rock to get to different bits of terrain and finding treasure and gold and all this sort of stuff. Like, it's just really, really cool and satisfying, and it's just great. It's really, really great. Has a few like performance issues here and there, but that's like when it gets really, really busy, like into the game. Like, there's been a couple of occasions, like on boss fights, like you'll come across like loads of stuff going on, like basically like bits of terrain building itself up around you and all that, and then destroying it again, like in quick succession. It can kind of drop in the frames a little bit, but not a lot. Like, it's not like the game is absolutely unplayable or anything like that. I still highly recommend it, but like, that's probably what would it would rate a little bit higher for that, really. It's not like my favorite like Nintendo. Like, if we're combining both Switch 1 and Switch 2 games together as a whole, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite like Switch game. There's a few that I prefer over it, like Super Mario Odyssey, of course, and obviously the Zelda games and stuff, and Metroid Prime as well. But I do really, really like it. It's really, really cool. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it's just really, really great. Like, yeah, it's really, really cool. I highly recommend you play it. It's awesome. I really enjoyed my time with it. And I finished Ghost of Yotei as well, pretty recently. And yeah, this game is fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was addicted to this. I finished this before I finished Donkey Kong Bonanza, and yeah, it was just a game that I was just really, really addicted to. Just like kept on going back to, and just it's one of the most stunning games you will ever see on the PlayStation 5, and well, in games in general. To be fair, like, when this comes out on PC, for any of you people who've got a PC and a fucking good graphics card, get on this game, because it looks incredible. But it's also just a really, really good game as well. Like, you know, it's obviously like open world, but it is quite linear in its story. But you know, you basically like it's a basic like revenge plot against a group of people called the Yotei Six, and yeah, obviously you're picking each member of that Yotei Six. You're avenging your family who got murdered by them, and you know it's kind of basic in that sense of the story. But as long as like well, not as long. You know, there's all sorts of stuff to do around it as well, and like the way you sort of gather your new like swords and weapons and all that sort of stuff is just really cool. Like I kind of prefer this, excuse me, over Ghost of Tsushima, whereas Ghost of Tsushima like you got to pick which stance to use against you know, certain opponents, whereas this you have different weapons. Like you got the Yari, you've got the long sword, you've got the giant sword, you've got the you've got like the little axes on like on the chains and stuff like that. Like it's cool that you have all those options to like for whatever type of opponent. Like you could have someone against you with like, of course, with a sword or with a shield, and you think, right, I gotta have this weapon. I do like Yotei more than Tsushima in that aspect. Definitely. I think I do prefer it as a whole, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It's absolutely stunning. It's a cool story. I really like all the characters that are part of the game as well. I think the cast is just a little bit stronger than Tsushima as well. When I played Tsushima, like I really liked it. There was just like a couple of things that I thought back then, like if you ironed the creases out of this game, like certain parts, you'd get a better game, I think. And I think this game is just, you know, it's great. It looks amazing, performs fantastic, and it's very bloody. It's gory. It's just really awesome. Like if you got PS5, get this game. It's absolutely a must play. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And obviously you don't have to play Tsushima before this. You can just go straight into Yotei because it's set like 300 years later from Tsushima. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's stunning, and yeah, I'll probably go back to it to do like some side quest stuff because I found myself when I was playing this, like if I'm on my way to like my next like main objective, I'll end up like veering off somewhere else to, you know, like gather more health and stuff like that. Find a hot spring or do like the drawings and stuff. Like there's absolutely all sorts to do within the game. So you know, it's one of those that looks like it doesn't look too hard to platinum or anything. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time with this game. It's fantastic. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei, brilliant. And yeah, let's talk about some. Actually, we'll go on to talk about some festival lineups that have been announced. There's been quite a lot. But we're going to start off with Download Festival. Of course, the major rock metal festival in the UK, probably the world. Some people look at Download as if it is like, you know, the number one. I'm just going to have a quick sip of coffee. Yeah, so obviously Download's been going through some sort of like I guess renaissance, like the past couple of years, like introducing new headliners and all that sort of stuff and new acts on the main stage, like bidding off some of the older bands, and they've just announced the lineup. So like it's gone to a point now where if Download, I'll just be like, well, who's the hell's gonna headline next year? Because I don't know. Whereas like, you know, a few years ago you kind of predict it, depending on who's releasing an album. And yeah, we have got headliners: Limp Bizkit, Guns N' Roses, and Linkin Park. Now, as a group of headliners, it's not bad. It's not particularly bad, really. I mean, Limp Bizkit, I never usually complain about Limp Bizkit. I love Limp Bizkit. They are one of those bands that you see them live, and it is just the best show ever. It's great. Like, I've talked about Limp Bizkit on this channel a few times, you know, seeing them at Halifax, seeing them at, well, Download a couple of years ago, and seeing them literally this year at Leeds Festival. So it's very, very cool that they're headlining. I imagine it's to do with the last time they played, because they had the biggest crowd, and I think there's just like a new metal revival going on these days. Like, there's a lot of people showing love for bands like Limp Bizkit, and yeah, and of course a band that rarely releases albums as well. They did release a single like not long ago, which is like a very funny, strange but cool song. I do like it. But yeah, Limp Bizkit, the headlining, it's cool. Of course, it's going to be great. I am getting a bit of like Limp Bizkit, not fatigue necessarily, but like I've seen them live every year now for the past 4 or 5 years. Like, whenever they've been about, I've been able to see them. So like with a Download headliner, you sort of expect someone to come like, you know, once in the blue moon in the UK, you know, someone, you know, like a Tool or a Metallica, that sort of thing. But like, you know, Limp Bizkit is still good, I will say. Like, it's still good. We got Guns N' Roses, and you know, Guns N' Roses is going to be good for a lot of people who've never seen them before, especially, you know, their UK dates usually are bloody expensive in whatever stadium they're playing. But Guns N' Roses, I saw them at Download 2017, I'm going to say. The headlines, it was a 3.5 hour set, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was great. But having said that, I don't feel the need to see Guns N' Roses live again, really. Like, because that was, you know, like a really, really great time watching them and all. I had a couple of drinks and I stayed throughout the whole 3.5 hours and I loved it. And Axl was on, not top form, but he sounded fine. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard him on YouTube sound like way, way worse. Like that Back to the Beginning thing that he did for Black Sabbath's final show. He sounded terrible. He sounded absolutely terrible. So, you know what? I don't really want to ruin the time I saw of them before by this. I don't really want it to be tarnished in any way. You know, there's another thing as well. Guns N' Roses haven't really released it. They have released music, actually. They've released music. But like, it's no one's give a fuck about it, really. To be honest, I'm sure like they released like a few singles, or was it an EP that they released? Yeah, I think there was just like yeah, they released a few songs like Absurd, Hard School, perhaps, and The General. Like I quite liked Absurd. Absurd was quite cool. Hard School was pretty shit. I can't remember the other two, but that's all they've released ever since they played in like 2017. And like, when you go to see Guns N' Roses, you're gonna get like a big rock show. You're gonna get a good set list, obviously, but it's gonna be the same as normal. So as a first time for people, yeah, this is cool. But for me, having seen them before, I'm just going to I'm happy to like, you know, pass on it, really. But yeah, hopefully Axl Rose is going to be on top form for that. But yeah, I'm not in any rush to see Guns N' Roses again. And Linkin Park, of course, the first time they have played since 2014. I count myself very, very lucky in seeing Linkin Park at Download Festival 2014 with Chester Bennington live, playing Hybrid Theory in its entirety. Not a lot of people can say that. I don't think they did that a lot, really. In general, I think like when they were touring around at that time, Download was the only place where they played Hybrid Theory in its entirety. So yeah, back then it was great to see. And I'm not really the biggest Linkin Park fan, right? I love the first two albums; they're great. I really fell off them after that, and I genuinely thought the later stuff was really bad. Like the new album is I've listened to it like once or twice. It's fine. Like the singles aren't anything amazing, but like I forgot her name. New singer. She sounds pretty good. And, I'm sure it'll be a really good time, hearing all those classics, Faint, Crawling, One Step Closer, all that sort of stuff. It'll be a good time. I'm not particularly bothered about Linkin Park, though. That's the thing. But, like, they've just seemed to just gone bigger and bigger and bigger, like doing, like, stadiums now. So, yeah, Linkin Park. Of course, it's a good booking. Of course, it's good to have Linkin Park back, like for the first time in bloody hell. By the time Download comes around, it'll be 12 years. But it's not something I would rush to particularly. So yeah, those are your headliners. All headliners are UK exclusives, which tends to be the case with Download headliners, anyways. So I don't know why they put that in there. But yeah, they've got loads more bands announced. So we'll look at like the logo bands. Like they've got Bad Omens, which is like an easy book. Not my type of band, but like of course people have been asking for them to come back because they were meant to headline a second stage a couple of years ago, but they couldn't. But yeah, they're back. Cypress Hill is a cool book, and I think I do like Cypress Hill, so I imagine they probably could like sub for Limp Bizkit. So yeah, like Cypress Hill, yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, for sure. Get more hip hop involved in these festivals, for sure. Trivium, of course, just fantastic live all the time. Great, reliable band. Fantastic at Bloodstock. I've seen them on that main stage at Download a couple of times and have always crushed it. So, by the way, we don't know whether they're going to be headlining like second stage or who they're going to be subbing or anything like that. These are just logos. We have no idea what it's going to be. Architects, of course, fantastic live as always. One of the best bands ever. I love them. Electric Callboy, big logo there. They have like one album out and a few singles, and yeah, they're probably going to be like Linkin Park Day, I imagine. Hailstorm, I imagine, will be Guns N' Roses Day. So yeah, fair play to them. I'm not bothered about Hailstorm these days particularly, but a lot of people still like them. Ice Nine Kills, they're a good entertaining band. They're not a band I really listen to all that much, to be honest, but like live they are very cool and very entertaining. Baby Metal, I didn't even know people still gave a fuck about Baby Metal. Pendulum, I can kind of guess why they're a logo band, but not for me particularly. I didn't realise people still go mad for them. The Pretty Reckless, like, come on, like, I think the Pretty Reckless are crap. People are still buzzing over them. I didn't even know. I did not even know. Same with Black Veil Brides. Like, they're a logo band. I didn't realise how popular they were. And whenever I have heard a single on Kerrang or whatever, it's not been anything great. Behemoth, yep, that's cool. Seeing them there again. They've played like Download main stage a couple of times, so I wonder if they've got if they're going to be on the main stage again, or they're going to be somewhere on the second stage maybe. But yeah, they're there. Mastodon, of course. Mastodon, one of the best bands ever. Love them. Of course, they are on the Download bill because they are Mastodon and they are incredible. And they were incredible at Bloodstock this year. So yeah, if they bring that energy again to Download, you're in for a treat. All American Rejects, I imagine they are going to be a third stage headliner. Same with Feeder as well. Feeder are a logo band there. Once upon a time, Feeder headline Download. Mental. Like, 2005. By the time this festival comes around, 21 years ago, they headlined Download Festival when it turned into a 3-day event. So yeah, Feeder are back, and they're probably headlining at the third stage instead. And these three here look like they're going to be headlining the fourth stage, I imagine. Cavalera doing Chaos AD, which is fucking great, if you ever want to hear some Sepultura classics from that album, Chaos AD, Cavalera Chaos AD is going to be great. Static X, I'm not really bothered about Static X, but I imagine they're their fourth stage headliner. And Blood Incantation are a logo band. Love to see that. They're probably going to play 2 songs and fuck off, probably. They'll probably play Absolute Elsewhere in full, and that will be it. But yeah, those are the logo bands. I'll read off the rest of the lineup very quickly. But we got Ash, Bloody Wood, Bush, Dogstar, Hollywood Undead, Imminence. That's how you say it. Yeah, Kublai Khan, Texas. You're in for a treat there. Landmarks, Let Fucking Live. Let's just confirm that Let Live are probably back together. Really. Mammoth, Paleface Swiss. Nice. Periphery, nice. POD, Rory, Scene Queen, Set It Off, Sleep Theory, Social Distortion, Story of the Year, South Arcade, The Plot in You, Thornhill, Those Damn Crows, Throne, Tomarello, We Came as Romans, and another undercard here, some smaller bands, and Encore, As Everything Unfolds, As It Is, Boundaries, Catch Your Breath, Corrosion of Conformity, Decapitated, Desplits, Dinosaur Pileup, Drain, Drowning Pool, Ego, Kill Talent, Elder, Gate Creeper, Headwreck, Holy Water, Ivory, James and the Cold Gun, Lake Malice, Lake View, Last Train, Lowen, Magnolia Park, Melrose Avenue, Mouth Culture, Nasty, Native James, Nevertill, Pussy Liquor, Rain City Drive, Return to Dust, Self-Deception, Silent Planet, Slay Squad, Snot, Spine Shank, Spitting Glass, Sweet Pill, Sweet Savage, Tail Gunner, The Pretty Wild, Tropic Gold, TX2, Unpeople, Vianova, Wayside, 936. So that's a big old lineup, big old announcement. So if you're going to download, get stoked about it. I'm probably not going to go, because I'm going to another festival instead, and I can't afford to go to all of them because I'm saving up for a wedding. Yeah, so Outbreak have also announced a lineup. Now, let me tell you, this lineup is fucking excellent. My God, I so can't wait. Yeah, fucking Outbreak is my favorite festival ever. I've reported on this festival. I've reported on it for the past few years, and like the second episode of this podcast was about Outbreak 2023. So here we are. We're going to talk about the 2026 lineup, and it features headliners Alexis on Fire and Basement, and Alexis on Fire are going to be performing their album Crisis in full with more songs, and this is a hell of a booking. It's great. They're not a band that I would have predicted for Outbreak at all. I did not think Alexis on Fire will be on this lineup, but it makes sense, I think, because Alexis on Fire have always had that sort of punk edge to their sort of post-hardcore sound, and they're just great. There's a few people in that band that are straight up hardcore guys. I know Wade is in a hardcore band with Matty Matheson, the funny chef guy, and yeah, they're just great. They're live. They're fucking great. They're ferocious. Like, they're mental on stage sometimes. Like at 2000 Trees this year, they were absolutely brilliant. So yeah, imagine this band playing Crisis on Full and people are stage diving and stage invasions and stuff like that at Outbreak Festival. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's a really good booking. So yeah, it's great. Basement back. They're going to be headlining at Outbreak again after headlining it before in last year, 2024. I imagine they've got a new album coming out. Like, they played a new song last year, nothing else has been released ever since then. But I would like to think that, next year we will get a new Basement album before Outbreak Festival. Otherwise, it's not otherwise for me, it's not like it's not a booking to be insanely excited for. But it's Basement. They're always like sensational live, and they do put together a really good set list of their bangers. But I would like to think that there is a new song coming out. Well, a new album before this. So some other big names here. We've got Suicidal Tendencies, Hatebreed, finally Hatebreed, performing songs from Satisfaction is the Death of Desire, and Perseverance, and more. I'm fucking stoked for this, man. I've never seen Hatebreed before. I've been dying to see Hatebreed for years. And I finally get to see them, and they're going to be performing songs from Satisfaction is the Death Desire and Perseverance, two absolute golden albums for me. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. I hope they're on the main stage for this one, outdoors, like people just going fucking bananas for them. There could be a second stage headliner, we don't know yet, but looking at the poster, there's no indication as to where they'll be. They're just a big band on the bill, for sure. Converge! Hell yes. Fucking Verge! I remember seeing them at 2023 Outbreak, and they blew my mind. They were absolutely amazing. So it's good to have them back. I hope these have a new album out, actually, by the time they come back to Outbreak Festival. It has been a few years. Like the last album, what's it called? Under Duress. Fantastic album. That came out certainly not this decade. I know like the decade before, definitely. Probably like 2017 or 2018, I believe that's when it came out. And they did release an album with Chelsea Wolfe, which is obviously like very different to like general like Converge stuff, which is the Blood Moon album. But yeah, oh no, sorry, it's not called Under Duress. That's the name of the song from the album. The album's called The Duskiness. But you got to imagine like all the other stuff they're going to be playing, like from You Fail Me and Axe to Fall and of course Jane Doe. They're probably going to play stuff like The Saddest Day again, like to get everyone fucking up on that stage going fucking crazy. But yeah, Converge, of course, happy with that. And Trapped Under Ice, of course, brilliant. And Trapped Under Ice, I don't think they tour all that often. Of course, I believe Justice is concentrating more on Angel Dust these days, and their drummer Brendan sings for Turnstile, one of the biggest bands at the moment. So I think they just do the odd gig here and there, which is fair enough. But yeah, the rest of the bands that are underneath here, I'll just quickly go over. Pup, High Viz, Touche Amore, playing stage 4 in full, and more. There is going to be tears, I'm telling you now. La Dispute, The Armed, Trash Talk, Fiddlehead, Scowl, Harm's Way, Echavandal, Higher Power, Glare, Glitterer, End It, Haywire, Gridiron, Sanction, Bodyweb, Dynamite, Ingrown, Glixen, Truck Violence, February, Initiate, Still in Love, and Turn of Phrase. Yeah, banging lineup. Absolutely banging lineup. And there's going to be more to be announced. And all the bands that I've just listed here, these are all going to be on the Saturday and Sunday. There is still a Friday lineup to be announced. So I imagine that will be like, Hip Hop Day or something like that. But yeah, it's just really, really cool. Really, really cool. Mint lineup. I am going to be going to Outbreak Festival this year. Got my ticket, so I'm very, very stoked. And that's it basically. I'll quickly go over 2000 Trees. They've just announced some bands. It looks really good. Looks like a really good lineup. To be fair, Gutting are not going to be going this year because it's a bit hell on. Like it's on the same weekend as we're going to a wedding and we're going to see My Chemical Romance play Black Parade in full. So we can't go, unfortunately. But, they've announced Alkaline Trio as a Thursday headlining, which is really good. Good booking for sure. And just plenty of bands that are going to be playing. Just check out the 2003's lineup because I'm running out of breath listing the amount of bands on all of these on these lineup posters. So just go have a look. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning. Let me have another sip of coffee. All right, so there we go. That's festival news and such. What else is there to talk about? I'll chat about some gigs that I've been to. Pretty much the day after coming back from Corfu, me and Haley went to a little festival called Common Threads, which was kind of like a festival on tour, similar to like Warped or something. But this was more of a festival for kind of like punk, flannel wearing, Midwest emo, alternative sort of stuff. It's this is a tour that has been going around. So they had a date in Germany, in Oberhausen, one in Brussels, Haarlem in the Netherlands, London, and Leeds. And we went to the final day in Leeds. And this featured a lineup with 3 stages playing across the weekend. And it's not like it's not like a lineup that I'm absolutely mad about. There were some good stuff in there, I will say. But yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. I will say the organisation was a bit rough. Like, it was all on the university campus in Leeds. And all 3 stages were within the building, so it was hard to get from one stage to another. And whenever there was like certain popular bands that were playing on that main stage, which was the Stylus, sometimes it got really, really tight in there. Like, it's overcrowded at points. Like, and this wasn't even sold out as well, which I kind of found quite bizarre. Because A, it's a good lineup, and B, like, if this wasn't sold out, I imagine it would have been chaos if it was sold out. But I imagine it would have been close, surely. But walked in, saw Northcote do an acoustic set. Not really my cup of tea, but, it seemed fun, proper, hat on sleeve, flannel shirt, tugging type of music, that sort of thing. And, they were good. Like, the dude's got a good voice who sings for them. And he had like another guitar player who played like electric stuff. But like, they were joined on stage by Chuck Reagan and Dave House and all that sort of stuff, which is kind of like the big power trio, if you will. So that was quite cool to see towards the end. So yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Northcote. Also, who else did we see? I saw Sincere Engineer play an acoustic set in the Stylus, which was just, Sincere Engineer are a band, but this was just an acoustic set of the front woman playing acoustic guitar by herself and singing, and I didn't like it. I found it quite irritating, to be honest. Like, I genuinely find like pop punk played acoustic pretty irritating to me. Like, it just doesn't need to be done, does it? Just play with your band. Understand if like a band didn't make it, but like when you're playing power chords on an acoustic guitar and going, it just doesn't sound good, does it? No, sorry, didn't like them. I then went to see the Dirty Nil, who I'd been wanting to see for a long time, because I really like the Dirty Nil and their music. Of course, the music. But yeah, the Dirty Nil. If you've not listened to this band, listen to them. They have some fantastic albums out, like Fuck Art and Master Volume. Like, they've got some bangers. They're great, and the singer is a real rock star. He's got like the whole guitar power stance and all that. Really funny, like facial expressions and stuff like that. He just knows how to rock out. It's really, really great. 3-piece band. Like, if you're a fan of like sort of early Green Day, but with a bit more sort of rock and roll behind it, and like a lot of raw, high gain amps and that sort of thing. Like, it was great. Dirty Nil were fantastic. I really enjoyed them. Then saw Tiger's Jaw. You know, like, the room was rammed for Tiger's Jaw. Like, it was hard to, you know, get any sort of space in there. Like, Tiger's Jaw, I ended up just like watching them on the stairs, on the at the venue. But yeah, this is what I was getting at about like being really, really oversold. Like, you know, this is halfway through the day, and like I'll stand on the stairs. But yeah, the Tiger's Jaw were great. They were awesome. Like, people were really, really up for them, and so were they. They were giving a lot of energy to the crowd. I'm not overly familiar with Tiger's Jaw stuff, like, which is quite crazy considering you know, the type of music I'm into. Like I've seen them before, like Support Basement. But that's about it, really. There's a couple of songs by them that I know. But yeah, they were good. They were pretty good. Saw the Hotelier afterwards, who had just as big of a crowd as well. I was pretty much watching them from the back. Excuse me. And it was kind of like the same set at Outbreak, really. Like, they were playing most of that album that they're really, really famous for. Home is a Place. Something, something, something. I forgot what it is called. Let me just have a look live on the album is called Home Like No Place Is There. They played that. They played most of that, really, and I think they played like whatever from other albums, to be honest, which I don't know. They do have some good songs on that album, to be fair. I do like it, you know. Scope of All This is Rebuilding, you know, introduction to the album. They opened up with that. You Depressed, you know, like, just you know, like everybody's singing like the Golden Sick on Your Funeral. Yeah, it was it was good. It was decent. Like, pretty similar. I think the Outbreak set I saw them on was better last year, but you know, they were good though still. Who else did I bloody see? Oh, I know. I saw Joyce Manor kick ass. Joyce Manor are great. I absolutely love Joyce Manor. I've seen them live a good few times. They're always fantastic. They've got a new album coming out, which completely passed me by. Like, I did not know that they had a new album coming out. They got a new album coming out in January, I believe, and they had 2 singles out, which I did not know even happened. So, like, I heard like a couple of new songs live, and I was like, what the fuck? I never heard these before. They've actually got a new album coming out, which is mental. But, you know, Joyce Manor, they're full of very, very short songs. So, like, you know, a half-hour, 40-minute set, they've got the ability to play like 20 songs or something like that. But, like, considering all their songs are just like really, really short, like, they've got so much going on. Like, like, just the choruses are just absolutely infectious. 8 songs from Never Hungover Again, which is fantastic. Obviously, 3 from the self-titled album, 1 from Cody, 1 from $1 Million to Kill Me, a couple from Used to Go to This Bar, and yeah, it was just brilliant. It was just brilliant. Christmas Card, Heart Tattoo. Yeah, they've just got such brilliant sing-alongs. I was singing my bloody heart out for Joyce Manor. They were one of my favourites of the day. They were awesome. They were absolutely awesome. I loved them. And I think after that, I just waited for Spanish Love Songs, and they headlined. But it's weird because on the poster it looks like Hot Water Music are headlining, but they were headlining the second stage, which was a lot smaller. So people getting in and out for that was mental, from what I've heard. Same for Comeback Kid. I didn't even bother with Comeback Kid. So it was actually Spanish Love Songs who were headlining. Really, they were on the biggest stage and they were on the last. So yeah, Spanish Love Songs, they were fantastic. My band of the day, big time. I love this band so much, and they're one of those bands like just they've got 3 albums out, and I feel like these albums have just been out for such a long time, even though they haven't. That it's just like embedded in people's brains, and everyone is just singing along to them. This band means a lot to a lot of people, and myself included, and you know, seeing them headline like a little festival like this and getting the reception they deserve is just really, really lovely. I imagine they're getting ready to record another album soon. You know, No Joy was like a couple of years ago now. They're just fantastic. I love them. Yeah, just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. And yeah, that was it. Common Threads tour. It was good. It was a good day. I just wish that the organisation was a little bit better. You know, it's not like a big team that put it all together or anything, and it's obviously like a tour that goes through a few like different venues. So, you know, I mean, at London they had the Roundhouse as the main stage, which is, you know, fucking massive. But yeah, it was good. It was really, really good time, and yeah, that's it pretty much for Common Threads. I went to a couple of gigs. Went to see Turnstile at I told you this episode was going to be quite a big and long one. Went to see Turnstile at the Depot Mayfield at Manchester. Now, Depot Mayfield I went to for Outbreak 2023. My first time going back to Outbreak after a few years off. And you know, it felt good at the festival to be there. Quite a different sort of setting for a band to be at that festival, really. Sorry, at that venue, because there's no like stage barriers or anything like that, like the mosh bit or anything. It's literally just one big standing area, and that's it. And yeah, so as a venue, I'm not all that bothered about it really. But Turnstile were playing. They played it. They had support from High Vis, who were fantastic. They were brilliant. I love High Vis. I love them so much. They are incredible. You know, I saw them earlier this year at Newcastle Anarchy Brewery. I feel like next time they do their own tour, they're going to be playing bigger venues, because everyone was fucking stoked to see High Vis. Like, a lot of people showed up. First band on the bill. And there was a lot of people singing along with them. And there was a lot of people, like, you know, jumping and dancing and all that sort of stuff. And a few mosh pits here and there. It was just really, really cool to see that happen for an opening band. Because I know sometimes it can be quite hard for an opening band to get that sort of reaction. And, yeah, the sky's the limit for that band. Really, really, really is. I think they're going to be playing some bigger venues next tour. But yeah, they were so good, man. Like, those songs are great, and just having that sort of, you know, northern hardcore meets Britpop sort of thing, like, it just suits Manchester down to the ground. They were fantastic, really tight, really, really great sounding. All those songs that they play, you know, I Choose to Lose, and Mine's a Lie, Trombones especially, my god, what a song. They were fantastic. They were really, really good. The second support band, The Garden, I saw these a couple of years ago at Outbreak. This didn't sound good, like the sound was a bit fucked, which is a bit of a shame really, because there's a few of The Garden songs that I do quite like, so I was hoping before this that they would, you know, have the sound sorted out. and, you know, everything would be great and I'd enjoy them. Absolutely fucking not. It was the worst sounding gig I have ever fucking heard in my life. My God, this was terrible. This was absolutely terrible. Like, it's not down to the band at all. I'm sure it, like, they can't hear what we hear. But it sounded like fucking shit, man. Like, they came on, like, and there was like this big massive like from the backing track that they used. They're a two-piece band. One member goes on and off the drums, one other member goes on and off a bass guitar and does vocals. Both do vocals. But there is a lot of backing track, and the backing track was so loud and so bass heavy. It was like literally pummeling the entire venue. It was ridiculously loud. It was insanely loud. Like, but like it was just like so bassy. So bassy. Honestly, I'm so glad I brought my fucking earplugs with me for that. Because it was just like... Like you could barely hear the drums whenever they kicked in. Like actual live drums. You could barely hear the bass guitar. Like the vocals were just like very echoey and like very distant. It was... You couldn't make out any of it at all. Like, I just wanted it to be over. It was so bad. So bad, man. Like, the worst sound I have ever heard of a gig. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame, really, because I like a couple of songs. And, like, I've seen a couple of people, like, post videos of them at Alexandra Palace quite recently, and they sounded good there. But here, oh, God, they sounded terrible. It was way too overpowering. Way too overpowering. So yeah, that was the Garden. And Turnstile, who were headlining, of course. This was one of the most mental gigs I've ever been to. Straight up, right? Obviously, this band is just getting bigger and bigger by the minute. Like, you know, they really, really broke out with Glow On, which released a few years ago. And obviously, Never Enough is taking them to even more heights. Like, Never Enough is fantastic. It's incredible. I love it. It's my second favourite Turnstile album. And the crowd were up for it, man. They were absolutely up for it. I wasn't, you know, expecting anything like it. Like, you know, usually you go to a gig and, like, maybe, like, the first quarter of the standing area, if that, is probably a bit moshy or whatever. Or there'll be, like, a circle in the middle that goes mental for usual gigs. Not the case here. Like, the whole floor, front to back. Bearing in mind this venue is like, I don't know, probably about 2,500, 3,000 capacity. It's big. It's really big. The whole floor was moving up and down, jumping up and down. It was mental. It was absolutely mental. Fucking, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And, oh God, I feel bad talking about it because good friend Jake of MastoCast fame, who has been on a couple of times, he was meant to go at the gig with me, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. He had to sell his tickets. So, you know, it meant I had to go by myself. I wish he was there to celebrate with me, but unfortunately he couldn't be there. It is what it is. These things happen. But, yeah, it was like ecstasy. It was like the whole crowd taking ecstasy and went fucking mad for it. But, like, it was literally from the start. As soon as Never Enough came in, the whole place was singing so loud. So loud. And, like, just going fucking bananas for everything. Like there was mosh pits going off at the back of the venue. It was crazy. Like, I thought I was going to get fucking done in, but, like, I did okay. I feel like I did okay. But, like, it was insane. Like, Never Enough into TLC, where mosh pits were just going fucking insane. And, you know, for a band, you know, that are doing really, really well from the success of Never Enough and Glow On, they are still willing to go all the way back to, like the Step to Rhythm EP and stuff from like Non-Stop Feeling, which are all fucking brilliant. Like 7 tracks from the Step to Rhythm EP. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And like doing Phased Out from Non-Stop Feeling. No, sorry, not Phased Out. It's Drop. I thought they did Phased Out. Yeah, they did. They did do Phased Out. Sorry, as well as Come Back for More. But yeah, it was just fucking brilliant, man. It was incredible. Like the band just absolutely on point. They had like the video behind them where like it showed like a mosh cam, and you had like a good bird's eye view of like what the pit looked like and how mental it was going on. And they had like that, the backdrop where it was just like the like them stripes of color, like of different colors, like they have been on using for the album campaign and stuff. Like just something about it. I know like it's very, very simple, but it's very striking and very iconic, I find. Like it was just really, really awesome to look at with that band going on behind them. You can see the band's silhouette. And Brendan as a vocalist, my God, he is so talented. Like he's got such a good voice and such good presence, and like he's constantly jumping up and down in the air. But I feel like whenever he jumps up in the air, like it looks like he stays up there for like a good 2 or 3 seconds, and then he's down. Like he just defies gravity. That man, he's incredible. And like the songs from the new album sounded fantastic. Like Soul was amazing. I loved that. Like he did like the little keyboard solo for that, and Seeing Stars. Everyone had the dance on. Like I Care into Dull was fantastic. It was really, really good. Sun Shower. And obviously we got into like the encore part. We got Mystery into Blackout. The encore, everyone went fucking mental for. Like 3 songs for the encore. Mystery into Blackout, into Birds, and just pits fucking kicking off everywhere. And I was fucking screaming my fucking tits off like for Birds. Like it was just like, finally I can see it. This bird's not meant to fly alone. I was like jumping up and down, fucking destroying my throat. It was incredible. If it weren't for 9 Inch Nails this year, this might have been my gig of the year. Between that and Ghost earlier this year, this might have been my gig of the year. It was insane. And yeah, I went to another gig. Recently. Literally on Saturday, I went to go see Malevolence on their Where the Truth is Spoken tour. It's their latest tour, doing bigger venues that they've ever done before. The headline Brixton Academy in London, which is big, and me and Jake went to go see them at Manchester O2 Victoria Warehouse, which is big, massive standing area, basically 3,500 people, and they sold it out, which is really, really impressive, And I've always loved Malevolence. They were like my favorite band at Bloodstock last year when I went for the day. The new album, Where Only the Truth is Spoken, like their new album is really, really good. I love all their albums. They're always fantastic live, so it was a no-brainer for me to get myself to Manchester to go see them. Because it takes a bit to convince me to go to Manchester to see bands now these days, because it's such a trek and it's a pain in the ass to get to. And it's always very expensive while I'm there. But they had a big-ass bill along with them as well. Wasn't able to make it for the first band, Psycho Frame, but was there to make it for Dying Wish, with the second band on the bill. I've spoke about their new album on the podcast before, where Flesh Stays Together. It's fucking brilliant, and they were incredible, man. Dying Wish were insanely good. Like the sound for them was huge. It was massive. And like Emma Boster, like she is feral. She's absolutely feral. Like her screams are so shrieking, like she's been gargling glass, but she's got a really beautiful singing voice. Like when she goes for like her melodic vocals, she's got a fantastic voice. And considering you can do all that proper shrieking, like screaming, and then go straight to that singing, is really impressive. Like definitely more so than bands when they have like the screamy frontman. but the bass player does the singing. You know what I mean? Like, she does both of that, and it's really, really great. And, like, that good blend of, like, old school metalcore with hardcore just works so well. Dying Wish were incredible. They're really, really good. And then after that, Speed, who were amazing. Speed are a fantastic band. I love them. They were immense at Outbreak this year. I've seen them before. The other Outbreak one is done at Devon Mayfield, 2023. And yeah, I love their albums. The new singles that they brought out recently are great. Yeah, they were just really, really, really awesome. They're just so full of so much energy. Like, they're just out for blood. Like, just demanding the crowd to, like, jump up and down and two-step and everything. Like the singer Jem is just so passionate about hardcore and the DIY scene. He's, like, really, really preaching about all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there was, like, literally 1-2 into, like, each song. It sounded great. Like tight as hell. They were just so good, man. They were so good. And, like, big things are happening for that band. I can tell. Like, they're playing, like, they had a lot of pits going for this set. They were just absolutely brilliant. They were killing it. Absolutely killing it. So, yeah. Kind of same feelings what I had about High-Vis earlier on. They will be back with bigger venues for sure. Speed. So they are fucking great. Speed. And Malevolence, who headlined it, they were really, really freaking great. I feel like I've spoken about Malevolence quite a lot on this podcast. But yeah, they were fantastic. They were great. They were awesome. It's always great to see them live and seeing them on that big stage, playing a proper, like, headline show, like a 15-song set. It's just really, really cool to see. Really, really awesome. Like, that's a band that have been grinding to get to where they are today, and it's a real proud moment for them, I think. And songs from the new album sound killer. The sound was a bit hit and miss here and there. Felt like the drums were quite overpowering, and there was some points where, like, they were really feeding back from the guitars. But you can't deny, like, the whole stage setup and the performance and everything. Like, they had, like, rows of, like, Laney amplifiers with, like, the album artwork printed onto the cabs, all that sort of stuff. You love to see it. And, like, the drum kit was on a riser, and it's just like, it just looks like, oh yeah, Malev are still fucking up to big things, and they're going to keep on going. And, like, the grind just never stops with that band, and it's just really, really great and refreshing to see a band from the UK killing it like that. Like, they look like fucking Lamb of God up there, man. Like, that stature and that stage setup and everything. They were fucking brilliant. They were great. Let's hope the rise for them just continues, man, because Malev are fucking brilliant. And yeah, I think that's it for today's podcast, because we've gone over an hour. I'll quickly talk about the albums that I've been listening to. Creeper, new album, Sanguivore 2, is out now. It's fantastic. I always go on about how good Creeper are. And Sanguivore 2, of course, continuing on from that that gothy sort of theme that they were doing on the last album. But yeah, just kicking up a bit more of the metal and the grandiose. Yeah, it's great. Sanguivore 2 is awesome. And Military Gun, back with a new album called God Save the Gun, which has been on repeat the past few weeks, ever since it's been out. It's amazing. Like, chorus is as big as fucking skyscrapers. Very summery sounding album. For a band that are from the US, there's quite a British sound to them. I don't know what it is, but, like, very early 90s sort of thing going on. And, songs like Kick and God Owes Me Money, just absolutely amazing. And Laugh at Me, just proper bubblegum pop chorus, but of, like, a good gritty rock sound. And Thought You Were Waving is amazing. And I Won't Murder Your Friend takes a bit more of a dark sort of turn, but it's just truly wonderful. Truly, truly wonderful, this album. Just give this album a listen. Like, it's God Save the Gun by Military Gun. It's amazing. And I'm going to go. I can literally hear my voice just sort of croaking a bit. I think it's from talking too much. But yeah, thanks very much for listening to the podcast. Much love. Take care. I will see you again soon. Well, not see you. You'll hear me again soon. I'll be back. I'm going to upload this one straight away, so you'll be hearing it now. But yeah, see you later. Sorry it was a bit of a wait. Like I said, things happened. But yeah, we got here eventually. Cheers. See you later. Bye-bye.